T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk?
I really want to know your name.
Maybe this will help.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help, the podcast, coming to you live 8 p.m. Pacific every Sunday. Tonight's episode is special because, as many of you know who've been watching this for a long time, it's been a year. It's been a year, and not one of those, oh, it's been a year, man, it's been a lot. It's been a year since something significant happened. And if you're looking at the title of our show, you'll see that every year there's an anniversary. But what are we celebrating the anniversary of today? Well, let me just show you.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Forever Daniel is in the building.
Oh, wow. The fact that you remembered the hashtag.
The hashtag. All right. I love it.
Listen, tell us about the Forever Daniel real quick for those who are watching for the first time and don't really understand.
So listen, Forever Daniel should have been the name of the show.
Oh, wow.
You should have just named it Forever Daniel.
Oh, no, I'm gonna set you up with some questions later on about anniversary. So no, you're not getting off that easy.
Nah. Jesus.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, for those who don't know, Forever Daniel was our hashtag for our wedding. That was it. And that is because we are Forever Daniels based on our Yeah, we have tattoos say or infinity. So forever. Yeah.
Areola's Pizza. We saw that today on this guy's.
Oh gosh, that's not what it said.
But I feel like you watched the show long enough to know when Donnie is baiting you into something. You got to do better than that.
I know. This is my brother though, so I gotta give him a hard time. He gives me a hard time. I give it right back to him. So.
It is going down tonight.
Oh,
please
Lord.
Believe it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in for the first time, go ahead and get your favorite snack, your favorite drink. Tag your best friend. We want you to be a part of the conversation tonight. We're going to get into some stuff. Maybe an hour tonight, maybe 2 hours, depending on how it goes. K Webb said happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel.
Appreciate it, K Dub.
Ray said happy anniversary.
Big Ray, appreciate it, bro.
Thank you.
So I told a few people that we would have Janae on tonight, and they got excited because they, for women, and they want the woman's perspective on the show. Just immediately, not us filtering through the responses of what women we want to post their comments on, and so they're believing in you tonight, but they don't know that you're on our team. So,
wow, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, this says otherwise.
I mean, we are one.
So
basically, we are one.
There it is.
But sometimes our brains don't
moving
align.
right along with the show.
We don't agree all the time. And that is okay.
Like right now. Listen, Sonia said happy anniversary to you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, man. All right. So now you guys get a chance to see what makes Mike so great when he comes on this podcast and share things. And then also, some of the diabolical thoughts also originate from his better half. So tonight, per usual, sis, I know you're a watcher of the show, even though sometimes you be cooking and making sure the home is straight. God bless you.
Come on, you golly. I didn't do nothing.
Hi,
Allie said, happy to see Jay. She's happy to see you. But sis, you already know I like to start with some fun stuff. So I just want to get into something a little
Wait, are we checking in? You're not checking in?
You said no check-ins tonight.
See, I told you weren't even listening. How did your wife know? She said, brother, get out the mirror and pay attention when people are talking. It's not always about you. Hook said happy anniversary.
Thanks, Poe.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight, y'all. All right, so I gotta start off first and embarrass Mike a little bit. Here's our first video of the night.
Question for the woman. When a woman says that a man is fine versus her saying he is handsome, which one holds more weight? Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah.
Wait, okay.
Here's the mic right here. You go.
Fine.
Okay. Why does that hold weight? How do you say it?
I mean, because we ain't fine. It's just like, you want him right now.
Oh, okay. What about handsome?
Handsome is like husband type. Fine is like a right now.
Okay, got you. I got you. So, fellas out there, she call you fine. You in there, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, so before we get started, for the audience, I want you guys to answer that question: which one holds more weight, fine or handsome? And then for Janae, my sister, I want you to answer the question: was Mike fine or handsome first? Which one was he?
Okay, so am I answering both, or
do that one first, and then you can answer the other one.
Okay, so I think she hit the nail on the head when she said handsome is like husband type. Because I think a fine, I think you're just physically attractive, and that's it. Handsome is like runs the kind of the gamut of everything. You look at, okay, his face is cute. He knows how to get dressed. I mean, you may not know him, obviously, if you see someone's handsome, but it's like they have everything, not just your face is attractive.
So was Mike fine or handsome first?
He was handsome. He's all of the above, but he was handsome to me.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
How you call bullshit on my thoughts?
She's never called me handsome since we've been together. A day of us being together, she's never used that word handsome. She's always used the word fine. Am I lying?
No, you are.
I'm lying?
No, you're correct. No, he's not lying. He is. I always tell him, I'm like, oh, you fine. But
fine shit.
Oh.
But
you are too old to be saying
too YN. I was about to say that's too YN. All right, my bad.
But your wife is young enough to say it. Hey.
Listen.
Wow. This nigga's disrespectful.
Cradle robber, you.
Wow.
That's right. Wow. No, I do call Mike fine all the time. I be like, oh, you fine. Oh, you fine. But I have called you handsome.
I think, bro, I also think it's who you're talking to when you're describing this person. I feel like if somebody were to ask Janae, like, oh, what does he look? She would use the word handsome.
For sure.
But if she's talking to Age or one of the girls, it'll be fine. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
And I don't know if that's to throw other women off the scent. Like, nah.
Of he's a good man. So he's a good man versus he's a good looking man. That's the difference between fine and handsome.
Listen, don't have no scent from my husband.
All right. So as a wife, you're gonna tell women all day, oh, he's handsome. He's a good man. Not just that he's a good looking man.
Well, clearly, if I'm married.
Hold on. So let me ask a question though, because based on your definition, handsome doesn't seem to be a compliment about your physical attributes. It seems to be more about your characteristics and your morals and your, who you are on the inside.
No, I think it encompasses both, because you can say someone's handsome and not know, I don't know him. Like, I didn't know Mike when I first met him. That's true. We just did business. But was he handsome when you first
met him?
Yeah, he was. But it was more of, okay, he's physically attractive. Plus, he dresses well. Maybe he talks well. Like, it's other things on top of.
So when did
when I say someone's fine, I'm just thinking physical. Like, physically.
So when When did he cross over to fine?
So handsome encompasses both. It's not a crossover.
It encompasses both.
Yeah.
So
But
you can
fine
be
does not.
fine. You can
But
be
fine
fine
does
and
not.
not handsome.
Right.
Correct. You could be
Right.
fine. Like your face could be attractive, but your shoes look like trash.
My God.
Your face could be attractive, but you don't know how to dress. Your haircut not right, but your face, but you're attracted by the face.
This is why we needed Janae on the podcast tonight, because last week we had some issues trying to understand the way women think. And we ran into some things, and I think I just ran into another one. Explain to me again.
Okay, handsome is all encompassing. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that.
There you go.
Handsome is all encompassing, whereas fine, and this is just my definition for me.
You hold it for all women. You represent all women.
Yeah, tonight you do. Because they're rooting for you. Let me tell you.
I do not. Handsome for me though, it's an all-encompassing thing. Where fine is not. Fine for me is just physical. Like, oh, his face is attractive.
So I got a question. So could handsome mean, he takes care, like if he has a kid, he takes care of his kid, because that be encompassed in handsome, or is handsome still physical? Is handsome still physical things?
No, I would say still physical things, because I'm not gonna know if you're a good dad just by meeting you, right? Like,
so
I'm
it's
not
still
gonna know
physical.
that, but it's still physical. But it's for me, it's
more than just the face,
the dress. I can smell you take care of your hygiene, your teeth, all those things.
All right. What Pook say right there?
Pook said, I usually say a man is handsome if he is in a suit or clean cut. Fine is the one that stops me in my tracks.
So
okay, see, I don't speak for all women, because Pookie has a different definition that works for her.
So a man in a suit can't stop you in your tracks, Pook. You see what I'm saying?
So it sounds for me when I'm listening to this, and Mike, let me ask you a question, brother to brother. Would you rather, if you had to choose between the two, outside of your wife's safe answer about fine being encompassed inside handsome, if you had to choose for the rest of your life to be one or the other, would you want to be fine or handsome?
Fine. Because I say fine because my mama called me handsome from the time I was a kid. Even when I didn't feel like I was, she always called me handsome. So that word doesn't hold very much weight coming from a romantic partner for me.
So when I hear fine versus handsome sounds like somebody you can domesticate. Fine sounds like somebody that's going to definitely get you up and out of character in a very exciting way.
So see, that's crazy how we that's crazy though how we all hear different things, because I hear handsome is boring. The nigga, he cool to look at.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not moving nothing.
See, so they said, oh, he's handsome, like he's gonna be a good dad, he's gonna be a good husband and stuff like that. But then you have these situations where those are the ones who get ran over, you get bored with him. In my opinion, from what I've heard from women, is that they still want some of that excitement. And it sounds like the excitement usually lands on the guy who is fine. Fine usually tends closer to sexy. Handsome doesn't really translate over to sexy. She's scratching. What you got, sis?
Oh no, I'm saying that could be right. That's just not for me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not the end all be all. So for me,
Mike's end all be all.
It's handsome.
Say that.
But Pook just said, can you go back to her?
Yeah.
Oh. Nope, this one before that.
No. I think it was
the new one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said, he definitely can be handsome, but doesn't always mean attractive to me. He can just look good in a suit. And that's fair.
Okay.
And that's fair. Like, you put a suit on, you look better than with the suit off. I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donnie, you are so confused.
It's the same thing. It's so when I hear handsome, you're not even complimenting me. You're complimenting the suit.
High key. Yeah.
When a woman looks at a man and says he's handsome, she feels absolutely zero temptation. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, you gotta ask Pook that. That's not my answer.
Okay. Well, Mike said he wants to be called fine. So that was for you and him to figure out.
What about fine shit? I'm too old to be in that category for fine shit.
She can say it, man. Your wife is 27.
My shit.
She's 27. So if that's where you guys land tonight, that's fine.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me see. We got that's fatherly. Golly.
Damn.
I saw that. That's
Magellan.
crazy.
Oh, that's
handsome
terrible.
is fatherly?
It is.
Terrible.
It is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody want a good man, but I think that Janae's safe answer might be where we land because
I don't even understand my answer is just safe.
Because every handsome man needs to also be fine. But see, I think that's something that he's going to have to do. He has to exude that, and it doesn't look like handsome.
I feel like swagger has a lot to do with it too, though.
Yeah, that's handsome. That's not fine for me.
So swagger leads more towards handsome than in the fine category.
Yeah, because fine, when I think of fine, I just think of your face.
Face card, physically attractive.
Yes, but you can.
I got you.
A handsome man is smiling while a fine man is squinting.
I think that's more light skin.
Or Donnie skin. Either one.
Just saying.
Oh, brother, don't play me today because you got to bring in your wife's melanin card.
Okay, wait a minute. We didn't say nothing. We didn't say nothing about my skin. Okay.
We did.
And
it's flawless.
That's you are.
Tacos is on Tuesday, bro. Tacos.
You're only dark because you be outside.
Tacos are Tuesday. You sure you want to do this?
I know. I don't. I am fine. You saw that? I am fine. I'm fine. All right. So, what would be the equivalent of if a man could be fine or handsome? What's the equivalent for women?
Beautiful and sexy, maybe?
Or beautiful and bad?
Yeah, I like bad.
Bad. I would say sexy. I would say bad.
So bad and fine kind of are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
But how would you guys define that though? Someone who's beautiful and then someone who's bad.
That's crazy because beautiful. That's crazy. I guess I agree with you when you put it like that. I think because when I say a woman is beautiful, I'm going smile. I'm going what she has on. I'm going, is it too much makeup? Does she got lipstick on her teeth? How is her hair? Is her hair looking nice?
Right.
But when I'm thinking bad, I'm thinking ass, titties, face. That's it.
Facts. Yeah.
Her.
I'm sorry?
Huh?
Her.
Okay.
I think that's what Glorilla said. She said all four, right?
Yeah.
You missed one.
She did. And her.
Her.
Yeah.
So my theory is holding up because now beautiful being handsome and bad being fine, it does for me lean over into a place of like the lady said in the video, I want you right now or you be a good life partner. Sounds like what they're conveying to a beautiful woman is like, oh, you make a good wife, a good mother. We could probably do some partnering things. When she bad, she's like, listen, a bad woman, like I'm having a hard time holding it together, looking at you.
Yeah.
If she don't put some pressure on my loins, I'm not calling her bad. You're beautiful. You got a nice personality, all those things. Oh, do you want to go outside today? Not really.
A
bad chick can make you change your plans.
Man, say that. Say that. Like when you don't want to be in a relationship, but then you end up married. Celebrating a 1-year anniversary. I get it.
So, Mike, was Janae fine? Oh, excuse me. Was she beautiful or bad first?
Yes.
Which one? The question was which one.
He knows that. I think it knows that loud and clear.
What's the problem?
Yes.
No, I think so. Me and Janae had spoke on the phone a few times, of course, about business before we actually met in person. So I didn't really have anything to expect. She did because her homegirl already told her that I was attractive or fine or handsome.
But she also says you were married, so I was not.
That's true. I
was like, oh, he's married. Don't matter.
Right. So, but when I first saw her, I did feel like she was beautiful. She had really big hair. She had a nice smile. I already knew she was a nice person. She worked with underprivileged kids. So when I saw the full package, I was like, yeah. I don't think I saw bad until we dating a little bit then, and I got to see her outside of a business mindset.
And what was it that shifted and changed? You said, "Oh, she bad too."
I probably got dressed or something.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got titties.
I put it on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she had to.
Or you took it off. One or the other.
Listen, brother.
And he started having a hard time within. See,
and without, brother. It wasn't just within.
Exactly. So my theory is holding up.
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah. I think that your soul says, "Oh, that man is handsome and that woman's beautiful," but your loins.
I like that.
That man is fine. That woman is bad. And it's great if you can have both in the same person, but sometimes you don't. And I'm wondering what kind of weight these hold since you are celebrating a 1-year anniversary of your marriage. I'm wondering what kind of weight these hold when it comes to sustaining a marriage, because you would want to have, a beautiful baddie, you know what I'm saying, or fine, handsome. And this is a great conversation to have. But when it comes to making it through the first year of marriage, how important was fine and handsome and bad and beautiful along the way of making the marriage work the first year?
You got to think, because I got my answer.
Go ahead.
So for me, I think all of that, the being bad and being beautiful, I think all of that was important because I'm visually stimulated. You know what I mean? So if I'm not attracted to you physically, if you don't do it for me per se, then you may not keep my attention. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why we've said on the podcast, like, or Carrie has said on the podcast something to the effect of date what you like to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't date somebody that you're not physically attracted to, because on a bad day and y'all not getting along and all you got is, I got to look over at you, and now you don't like what you see either. It's like, it's rough.
It's easier to share a bad moment with a pretty person or somebody you find attractive. It is. It's I'm gonna take your smiles as you agree.
Listen. I appreciate the honesty, because I think I would probably agree with that.
Yeah, no.
Last thing you need is to be mad at somebody for not following through on their commitments and their promises, and they smell bad, and their grooming routine is just lacking.
Because what's the first thing you hear from angry women? The man may have messed up. They go exactly for all his shortcomings. You short mother, you ugly, you dark, you little dick. You know what I'm saying? They're going exactly for all of his shortcomings.
Who is this?
In anger, just angry women. Just when women get angry, you guys are in an argument. The first thing they go for are what they feel are your shortcomings. So that's a great way to gauge how they look at you.
So Mike decided to have no shortcomings, so they ain't got nothing to fight about.
Listen,
how dare you? Huh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Have you ever been mad at Janae and looked at her and said, "It ain't even worth it"? I'm gonna let this one go. Yeah, I ain't about to mess this up. Nah,
that's crazy.
Because everybody who watches podcast know that me and Mike have brother time on Tuesdays, and I'm gonna say this and keep it as vague as possible. In all the things that makes Mike cry when he's in deep gratitude about his marriage, it's about who she is on the inside. Then he is still attracted to her on the outside.
Yeah.
And having those two inside the same person, I think that, most men may want to say, well, your wife keeping your attention is you problem. That's a you problem. You got to keep your eyes on your wife. I get it. We have that discipline responsibility on us, but her responsibility, or not even her responsibility, how she chooses to present herself helps us or hinders us.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yep.
So sis, talk about that a little bit.
I think it's funny because I have one particular person in my mind, but I feel like sometimes with women, they get married, and this may be women who've been married for a long time. But they don't get dressed anymore. They don't do their hair. They don't, there's a lot of things they don't upkeep themselves. And I think that's part of your responsibility in a marriage, not as a woman, as a human being, male and female. You guys should both keep yourself up because you want your partner to be attracted to you. I want Mike to be attracted to me. He wants, the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I think that if the woman came into the relationship or the dating scene and she didn't keep herself up then, it would be foolish of you to expect her now that you're together to try to do something different. She wasn't doing it before, my nigga.
I agree with that.
What?
It'd be foolish to expect it or desire it.
You can desire it all you want, but to expect it, like, because you with me, I'm expecting you to.
If she didn't do that before.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, why would she do it now?
Yeah,
especially outside of conversation.
All right. I like where this is headed. So let me put another video up for you guys. This is all about y'all tonight. I just want you to know the questions are going to keep
you are my brother, because in my mind I'm like, this nigga ain't answering no questions. He's talking about putting up a post up for you guys. Let's run it.
I just read somewhere that sexual attraction lasts 6 weeks. So if you're still attracted to someone after that period, then you actually really like them as a person too. I just read somewhere that sexual attraction lasts 6 weeks. So if you're still attracted to someone after that period, then you actually really like them as a person too.
Where did he get that from?
Yeah. What book was it?
ChatGPT. Where we get everything else from. 6 weeks.
Okay.
That sounds wild. Nah, I'm
gonna call
bullshit.
Sexual attraction for the last 6 weeks, and you really like that person.
No, more than 6 weeks.
More than 6 weeks.
Then it must mean you like that person outside of just being sexually attracted to him.
I don't know.
She's thinking about it.
I don't know if I agree with that or not, because
is there any correlation? Oh, go ahead.
Because I feel like there's so many things that can like throw that off. Like I could be sexually attracted to you, and then you do some F-boy stuff. I'm gonna say that, and now I just don't want to mess with you no more.
But still, you're still sexually attracted to the person. They just, because of their action.
Is she though? Because this is a great conversation to have, because I've heard that women, in response to a man's behavior, can lose visual interest in him as well. Even though it was something that they did and their physical didn't change, but they can lose visual interest in you because of something that you did. I don't think it works that way with men.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I want to challenge that though, because is it that you lose visual interest or you lose sexual interest? Because I can still think that this person is visually attractive, but now that they did that fuckboy shit or that fuck girl shit, now I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore though.
Well, that's why I'm asking Janae, because the woman's brain is wired differently.
Yeah. So I think for me, I'm going back to an old relationship. I wasn't, so this is kind of hard for me because I wasn't really attracted to him to begin with.
She like ugly niggas.
To me, he was, but he grew on me. That's why I don't do growers no more. But he grew on me. So at some point I was attracted to him because we were together.
Yeah.
Then he started doing, the everything outside of the relationship. And I was like, ugh.
And so that kind of back. So look, Candace said, nope, boys get really ugly real quick based on actions. And I'm telling you, when I look at a woman, she can have the worst behavior. And what I see, it's just like you fine and you crazy and you upsetting me, but you still fine. Women, on the other hand, be like, yo, you don't look like anything I ever want to deal with. And I was wondering if that was cap. Like they just say that, but I've heard it too many times. I think that's how a woman's brain is wired. Like your behavior is attached. It's a package deal with her physical and sexual attraction towards you, because this is why even in marriages, when a man ain't acting right, she has no problem cutting off sex.
Yep.
I don't know a husband that has ever had his wife misbehave and he tells her, I don't want to have sex with you.
Yeah, I ain't heard of that one either.
Yeah, I think for women, there's more than just the physical that we need to be like aroused and like want to do that. So
wow.
If one thing's not working, then it's like, well,
wow. That's crazy. Like, you're not doing your honeydew list or finishing your chores can dry her up. Like, factual. Like, that's wild.
I heard something somewhere. I was on TikTok, and the guy was like, if a man wants to have sex with a woman at night, he needs to start that in the morning.
In the morning, yep.
Because for women, it takes the little small deposits throughout the day to like get us there, right? So I was like, I never thought about it like that, but I'm like, that's good. And it is not anything crazy. Maybe it's a picture, or you slap her on the butt, or, you know, kiss her on her neck before you leave, you know, like those little things throughout the day.
In the morning, the first text you send your wife is a scripture that says the wife's body belongs to the husband. That's how you start it. And if that don't work, you send her a copy of the marriage license, put those two together and say, I'll be home around 8.
God, brother.
No, that's why I'm not married yet. Okay. Go ahead, Mike.
I didn't want to say it, but you said it for me.
Y'all energy was real loud right there. Both of y'all together.
You said it, so I didn't have to say it.
Wow. That's crazy work.
No, but there is something to that. I've seen the same video. And so let me ask you, sis, on the flip side of that, because we hear this narrative so much about what it takes to make sure your wife is in the mood and all those kind of things. Start in the morning. What is the flip side of that for men? What must be happening in order for just start kissing them, huh?
Just start, you know. Yeah. That's what I think. But you guys tell me. Y'all got the penis, I don't.
Well, you technically two become one. Mike, what would you say? Would you want a text message early in the morning? Like, do you need your wife to like, or what is it that makes you say, oh, for sure, whatever she wants tonight within our marital responsibilities, she got it. Even if I'm tired, I'm gonna find the strength.
It's so interesting with us, because if we're both tired, then I feel like
we're going to bed.
You were going to sleep. Like,
well, see, listen, intimacy doesn't have to be sex, though.
Exactly.
Sure. It could be as simple as I'm gonna go and sleep in the bed tonight instead of falling asleep on the couch.
Yeah, no, that's fact. So, I mean, I think that we're really intentional about intimacy. Like, we have days set aside, we have things set aside that we do ritualistically to make sure that, you know, because especially being married, and then we were living together before this, and we've been together going on 6 years. So it's easy to fall into routine. It's easy to fall into just everyday life, especially when you have a kid who's very active in academics and active in school, and then the podcast, and then us trying to get to the gym every day. And then, you know, just so many different things. Her job is very demanding. So just so many things. It's easy to fall into routine, even though, like we were saying last night, we do routine very well. Like we don't even have to talk to each other anymore for our day to flow smoothly. Oh, I'll get denim, you'll do this, I'll do this. It's like a ping pong thing with me and her. But to that end, it's still important to get in, you know, your one-on-one, your tough conversations, your check-ins, your intimacy as far as what do you need from me. Like I'm the kind of person, as Janae can attest to this, like, is it anything that I can do less of? Is it anything that I can do more of? Just always making sure your partner is good. Because like I said, it's easy to kind of just go with the flow. Oh, she's doing her part, so we must be okay. It's not always that.
Right. And that goes back. Intentional about making sure you are doing the things that your partner desires and needs from you. And it works both ways. It leaves very little room for something to get missed.
That's true. That's true.
Mike talks a lot on his podcast about just the power of communication and how important it is. And I sent you guys some notes when I went to prayer meeting the other night, and it said that sometimes your gratitude can get lost in your routine because you're so deep into your routine that it's becoming this automatic thing that you're losing the essence of it's an actual person that I'm doing this with, and the intricacies of how their day really went versus the expectation of how it should have gone based on patterns. And the gratitude can get missed because you may not know that this day was a little bit harder. Even though they hit everything on the checklist, it was a little bit harder for them. And so that gratitude is not matching sometimes the intensity of the day. And they may need that extra appreciation because, yes, I did everything I normally do, but today was an exceptionally hard day. And if you're connected and in tune with your spouse to know that, yo, you did everything that we said we were going to do, even in the midst of this challenging day, I want to show you extra appreciation because you put in extra effort. But that doesn't happen if you guys just solely rely on the routine and not those check-ins and those communications throughout the day.
That's good. And I'm glad that you kind of touched on that gratitude thing, because that's the one thing that I think me and her, and even raising Denim to be is grateful and thankful, and not just, oh, well, Denim's thing is, oh, well, Denim, you didn't say thank you. Sometimes he doesn't see a reason to, because in his head, he's clearly thankful that he got dinner. But like for me, in the time, the 6 years we've been together, she's probably cooked me dinner 80% of the 6 years. And I can probably bet every dollar that I have that I've said thank you for that meal every single time she's cooked, whether it's lunch, dinner, breakfast, it's always a thank you. And it's because like she don't got to do that. You don't got to, I'm a grown ass man. You don't got to cook for me. There's nowhere in our marriage vows did it say you have to cook. Nowhere in us dating did I ever tell her she had to cook.
But she did say till death do you part, and your cooking would probably rush that.
Says the nigga that came over here and devoured that steak. But okay.
Oh, that's right. You do make a good steak. I'm sorry. That was childish. Can you continue?
Mike makes a mean steak.
No, but it's just important, I feel like, for couples not to, again, just going back to the routine and the monotony sometimes of relationship, not to get stuck in because your partner is doing something that they just have to do that, or because they have the title of wife or husband that that's their job. Right. Like my job is not to take out the trash. I don't have to do that.
I think that even translates prior to marriage. That translates even when you're interested in someone or dating someone. You don't have to, but it's wise to be cautious of how soon expectations show up just because interest is shown up.
Yeah, right. I agree.
If they show up at the same time, you might be making things a lot more challenging and less fun than they actually, have to be or need to be.
Yep. And just make sure if you are expecting something that is verbalized and it's talked about and it's dissected, because she may be 100% on board with your expectations and then she may not be. And if one of those expectations is a deal breaker for you, then maybe y'all don't need to be together.
Listen, well, let me tell you something that's not a deal breaker for one of our audience members. When she gets married, McJellen said, "Not for me. I will be ready as long as he's not cheating or disrespectful."
I saw that.
Listen, the power of being a Latina. I'm not mad at it. All right. Let's move on to the next video. You guys still got some fuel in the tank? Because I got so many.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna say this before I even play this video. I did not come here to ruin any relationships, but it's some hard conversations that we got to have, even if they're hypothetical.
Let's do
my
it.
My sister, Mrs. Daniel over there, is not a fan of sci-fi movies. She doesn't watch the Avengers and all those things. Post, I want to give you a little understanding just before we get into it. There was an episode, or there was a movie in the Avengers series where this guy named Thanos had this glove, and he had all these infinity stones on it because he wanted to cleanse the world. It was too many people, overpopulated, using up all the resources. He acquired all the stones, snapped his finger, half the population gone.
Yeah.
Avengers fought to reverse that process in the next movie. So just keep that reference in your mind. He snapped, people were gone. Your loved one disappeared from you, right? Boom, gone.
Random people.
For years. Yeah. They were gone for years until the Avengers could rectify this. So here's the question.
If you lost your spouse in the Thanos snap, but 5 years later, the Avengers brought them back, but you already remarried with 3 kids and spent the life insurance on a failed food truck, do you get back with your old spouse or stay with the new snap family?
First off, let's think about that question logically.
Yeah, because the failed food truck means a lot.
Yeah, because it's very similar to the end of Castaway. I don't know if you ever saw Castaway, Tom Hanks. Mm-hmm. So for the folks who never saw it, He's on the island for years and years. He has a wife. And when he comes back, when he's found and he comes back to America, his wife has a new man. She has a baby. And she basically tells Buddy, I thought you was dead. Sorry about that, big dog. And closes the door in his face. And like, it's like one of the last things in the movie. And I kind of got to agree with the wife.
Damn.
Because here's the thing. If my girl left and then I just assumed she was dead after, the federal limit is 7 years where I can declare you dead and dissolve your estate. If you come back in year 8, talking about, baby, what's up? Even if I get back with you, you're going to hold that shit over my head and the relationship's going to be awkward because you're just going to be asking me a bunch of questions about why I ain't come look for you. And then I'm going to have to explain to you I did. And, I'm not going to live the rest of my life sad because you stranded somewhere or Thanos snapped you into. How I supposed to know Iron Man was going to bring your ass back?
Are you keeping the Snap family or are you getting back with your person?
The Snap family. This is the most messed up question.
You can plead the 5th.
No, you can't.
I'm not going to plead the 5th. I'm going to answer the question because you asked it. Am I getting back? Am I keeping my
knowing me?
Let me set it up so we can. I got to put this online for people to vote later. So here's the scenario. Here's the scenario. Your husband or your wife disappears for 5 years in an accident. Something happened. You've never been able to find them. You remarry and you got 3 kids. Somehow they survive. They come back into your life and they're like, babe, hey, I'm back. Are you keeping the family you have and pushing your old spouse away, or are you making an exchange, or are you trying to merge them?
Do I have kids with both of these men?
Nope, just the one after the new family, the Snap family. You got 3 kids.
Oh.
So to keep it a buck in that movie, it didn't end with her just closing the door. She closed the door, then she opened it, ran after the nigga, they kissed, and then they held hands, got back in the car together. So his depiction
What's
of the
your
movie
answer, Mike?
Huh? What you say?
This nigga gave us the Siskel and Ebert and still ain't answered the question.
So for me, so if I went back, I'm the stranded one. If I went back to her and I find out she has a new life, I wouldn't ask her to then come back to me after 8 years. No.
Got you. Now, switch roles. She comes to you and asks, what you doing? This nigga's skating around all the questions.
No, I wouldn't leave my family I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't leave your family for your old
Janae,
wife.
if for my old wife.
Janae, sound like you agree with him.
No, I do, because in my head I'm thinking, you haven't been gone. You've been gone for X amount of time, 8 years, whatever the case may be. If I leave my family, that means I have to potentially uproot my kids. I don't even know the man that you are anymore, because after 8 years, who are you? Where you been? What you been doing? And
who else was there? Who else was lost
on the island?
Even if you're stranded by yourself on the island, mentally, you're not. It's like going to jail. Like you're not. You
got to think about health as well.
Yeah.
Where's your health
and
at?
then and then I have to uproot my children, and then that's probably not the easiest thing because they have a father who is my current husband, and so I would. Yeah, I love you.
No, I'm with you. Like,
love doesn't endure all things, I guess.
Now, if I had kids with both, now that would be hard.
But here's the thing, though. I'm thinking that you're dead. You didn't just leave and go on a trip.
Correct.
I'm thinking that you're dead.
So
like,
wouldn't
no
you be
longer alive.
Oh my God, you're not dead. Let me ask you this question. Let's twist it a little bit. What if your present husband or wife is giving you a hard time?
Oh, y'all in a fucked up relationship, and then your old man come back.
Listen, let me say this because Mike, you've been married more than once, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to a place sometimes when you're in a marriage and this is like your second or third marriage, and I heard this at a workshop before. The people, I think they were married to each other, but they both had 3 marriages prior to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were both had, one of them was a widow, like their spouse had died.
Mm-hmm.
Being widowed and being divorced is different. That love often remains with that person for the rest of their life. And you're married to someone that still has this deep love. I'm not gonna say in love with, but has this deep love for the spouse that they lost.
Yeah.
If that spouse has a chance to come back, do you think that may touch them in a place that you may not be able to understand?
You know what I'm gonna say, bro? I'm gonna say me and my new wife, we would have to have a serious conversation, because I'm not gonna lie and say that feelings are not there. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't love her anymore or anything like that. So me and my current wife will have to have a serious conversation. Hopefully I'm with somebody mature enough to understand that type of conversation, because she may say, you know what, I get that if it were me, and I know how close you and Janae were, and I know the bonds you guys held, and if that's where you feel you need to be, then do that. To me, if my new wife says that, I'm out of there.
F them kids.
No, but why does it have to be F them kids?
Because you always say it.
I say that about denim. That's different.
Oh my God, sis.
Oh my gosh.
So if you ever want to see this scenario played out, there's this movie. The lady who plays Scarlet Witch in Avengers, she's in this movie called Eternity. So what happens is that her first love dies. When he goes off, he's like his first year in military, he dies, and they're young, like in their 20s, right? And then she goes on to marry another guy. They're married until they become old, and they have kids together. And then he dies. And so what happens is the movie cuts to the guy that her new husband, he is in eternity, in that waiting room between, you're going to pick what eternity you're going to choose. And he's there, and so is her first husband. Her first husband, that she lost when she was at 20, and she's now like 60 or 70 years old, has been waiting for her in this intermediate place to see when she dies, so they can go into eternity together. And now her present husband is there, finds out about it. He's like, no, that's my wife. I'm waiting for her. Eventually she dies and shows up and has to pick between who is she going to spend eternity with.
Is she black?
No, she's
white.
I feel like we saw this.
Possibly, but why she can't have both?
No, because they won't. The guys won't share her.
Okay.
And so, see, like the first husband knows what she liked when she was 20 and has an idea. Like they have all these, you can have eternity, like in the mountains, eternity at the beach, eternity, like all these different places. He doesn't know who she's evolved into.
Sheesh.
And so they both want to take her to different places and live in this eternity. So it's a good movie though. Ray said, what if she married your best friend because because they bonded during grieving process? Ray is coming on the show.
So that's an actual movie too. That would be great. That would be great. Because I'm assuming if it's my best friend, if it's a Donnie or somebody, or Cars or somebody like that, I feel like that I could trust them enough to know that my wife, whom I'm leaving behind, is safe and in good hands. So I would actually be okay with that. You just can't fuck her.
That's true. Finish the story, nigga. Finish. Listen, just take care of her, nigga. You ain't got to marry her to do that. So when I tell you some of the secrets of my heritage and some of the things my grandmother has told me, like that were kind of not official law within like the Southern families, it was the brother's responsibility to take in the wife and take care of her and the kids. Doesn't necessarily mean they had to consummate the marriage, but you know what I'm saying to you, that care was a responsibility of the brother.
We just saw that on House of Asher. After old boy died and his brother came and he assumed the responsibility of his dead brother. So
I don't like him either.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Don't talk about him. Yeah. That's good, man. But the grieving process is wild. But I digress. It's 8:50. That was a good topic. I want to get into another one before y'all try to sneak up out of here on me and go celebrate. So this is interesting. This might be helpful. Maybe you guys can talk to me about it. I'm trying to see if I want to get this serious at 9:00. If I want to continue to play around. I'm gonna ask one more question before we go too deep.
Pause. Not gonna talk to my wife that way. Not tonight.
Talking to you. All right.
Oh,
it's even worse.
Johnny's still mad because I put my hand on his style.
This is how niggas get kicked off the show. And I'm looking. Ray, do you want to come and be the co-host with me? I'm looking for a new. This nigga might touch me again. Nigga ain't got. I'm taking your whole life. I'm about to let this thing come true. All right. It's been said that men and women like to celebrate anniversaries in a very different way. Did you guys find that to be true in this 1 year anniversary?
I feel like our relationship is so different from everybody else's relationship. She's not a yes woman. I'm not a yes man, but we just tend to just agree on stuff. Like, it was actually, so can I share what we did for our anniversary?
Oh, that's between y'all.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
So today, like, most people think that we went to the gym today because it was my idea, and it was not. Janae suggested that we go.
Really?
Yes, this was her idea to go to the gym. Hey, babe, why don't we go to that gym over there and then we can go? That was her idea.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but you were there last year. We wanted to go to the gym the day after the wedding.
You sure did.
We were way too tired. I don't know what we were thinking. So we didn't do that, but we still never been able to go to that gym. So I was like, well, what about a perfect thing to do would be go to the gym that we wanted to go to the day after the wedding for our anniversary. And we also had a cake. The people who made our cake, they give us a little small cake for free for our 1 year anniversary, and it's right there down the street.
That's pretty dope.
Like, it just made the most sense to me.
To her. But
so
in my mom,
your level of disappointment today, Mike, is your wife's fault.
Oh.
I apologized already.
See, you let her pick a movie, and then
5
years later,
yikes.
Listen, my movie picking, you guys, has gotten so much better. Like, so much.
But that's because she looks at TikTok. Sorry, babe.
It is. But that doesn't matter.
As long as she's picking good movies.
So
what was your idea, Mike?
So I'm thinking the usual dinner, try to find something that she wants to do. But before I could even get there, she made the suggestion. And to me, like, what woman do you know is going to say, hey, why don't we go to the gym to celebrate and like, that's wild.
A woman that flexes in every single photo. Every time she gets a chance.
All right.
It will happen before the end of the show.
Oh my God.
She got her arms folded.
My God.
So we had an incredible conversation at the table today, at the brunch spot, asking, and you guys don't have to go into too much detail about it, but it was a great reflective question. What would you tell yourself the moment before you walked out for your wedding, for the ceremony? And boy, the tears started flowing.
Because it's one of those. It's such a. The question seems simple, but when you really start to really unpack all that entails, like being able to tell you something, like right before you step out to walk down that aisle, it just opened up so many like emotions and so many thoughts and so many feelings. And what I took from that is, out of all 4 of our answers, there was no regret. You know what I mean? There was no you should have done, or you
not even my answer.
No, your answer was that was probably the best one.
Okay.
Have somebody else take the. See, he about to get me upset all over again. Go ahead. No, but it's a beautiful thing when you can look back and not have regret, or not have I shouldn't have, or I should have done this different. But all of it is more so of, you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing. Don't second guess yourself. Things of that nature.
That's beautiful because both you guys were like, no, I was there. I was present. I was
Yeah.
ready. You had
Yeah.
dealt with everything. You wanted the moment. And so
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to our next video, I want to ask you this question, for both of you guys to answer. What's been your favorite moment in this past year?
Oh man.
I got mine.
Favorite moment? You have yours already?
Oh yeah.
Dang. Well.
I got two. Shit.
Okay.
I'll go first while you think.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think for me, my two favorite moments are seeing just how her relationship with God has grown outside of me. You know what I mean? Like they have their own thing. Before it was let's watch church together, let's pray together. Now she has her own ritual she does in the mornings and pray, all of that on her own. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And the second is her fitness journey has far surpassed what I ever expected, thought.
Me too.
Her discipline is on 1,000, and it's inspiring, bro. And that's dope when your partner can inspire you. You know what I'm saying? And just the when she sets her mind to something, it gets done. You know what I mean? It may take some time, it may be difficult, but she's gonna get it done, and that speaks volumes to the type of person she is. So to be able to like sit back and just see her growth from the outside looking in, because I feel like sometimes she don't even see it. So for me to be able to see it, it's just like, man, that's wild. It's almost like watching somebody like grow up on TV. You know how you have those childhood TV stars and they grow up literally on the screen, and you're like, man, I remember when that's kind of like how it feels, bro. And it's just like a proud husband moment. You know what I mean?
Respect.
Yeah.
That's good. So in my head, I'm thinking, when you ask the question, I'm thinking of like a physical thing that like we've done together.
Hold on, they don't need to.
But
first time we tried. No, okay.
No, but I would say if my answer would be, I think watching Mike grow into the man he is today, because as you guys know, he's very transparent on the show. It's been a long time. He's done a lot of work on himself. And not for me, but for himself. And that just kind of trickles down, to Denim and I. And I think watching him become the man and the husband that he's always wanted to be, has been a joy, of mine. And I don't think I don't know if he sees it or not, but I think now he's finally starting to see like, oh man, like how he's really grown so much. And I can see it, obviously all the time. But I think watching him kind of go through that alone and kind of just I'm here in the background, kind of just like, spectating and supporting where I can, has been really, really good.
It sounds like one of the greatest joys of marriage is seeing the person that you love with all your heart become all they could be.
Yeah.
All they ever wanted to be, and supporting that evolution.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I agree with that 110%.
Yeah, I feel like that the joy of it's so crazy because in some relationships, bro, the one or the two people want to be the star of the show. You know what I mean? But I feel like when you're in a healthy relationship, you happy just being supporting cast. Like, how can I support? Like, and then being able to see you shine, and I'm able to support that shit.
So your best friend chimed in. Her favorite part of this last year is seeing Janae and Denim's relationship.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
good. Really good.
And it's so crazy.
Yeah,
they've the relationship they've built has been so organic and so uninfluenced by me whatsoever. You know what I mean? And I feel like in a partner, in a wife, that's something that I've always wanted and felt like I never really had fully. You know what I mean? So the fact that they could grow this relationship and this bond outside of me is dope. And I feel like that's why, like, they go on their little dates and they go get sushi and they go and hang out. And I'll be like, where y'all at? Oh, we just stopped by.
Had ramen.
You know what I'm saying? It's such a good feeling. And it's a good thing, man. It's good. To the point. And what I think shocked everybody was at our wedding, since this is about anniversaries, at our wedding, she wrote and had vows prepared for Denim. Like outside of my vows, she wrote vows for Denim and said them out loud to him face to face while we're standing at the altar. And for me, that did something to me. You know what I mean? I knew like Denim was safe with Janae before, but hearing that, it was just like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is it.
It's something to be said about when your spouse can have that kind of relationship with a child that's not biologically theirs.
Yeah.
And it's organic and it flows like that. That's beautiful. Nobody want to ask me what my favorite part about the year was?
I'm scared to ask you any question.
I feel like we all are. But Donovan, what's your favorite part of 2025?
Forever Daniel?
As it pertains to Forever Daniel?
Yes. My favorite part is that Mike does not hog his wife's cooking.
I don't. I did.
My favorite part is that I get to partake of. I get the meals.
Yeah,
I get the meals. I get the experiment meals. I get the experiment desserts. Like I come over and I get to eat as if that was my wife, and I am extremely grateful for the generosity that you two bestow upon the hunger I possess.
Boy, he doing a lot for these tacos.
Listen, all I know is Donnie likes tacos.
Yeah.
Probably one of the easiest things to make is tacos.
She says everything.
I'm not
is
hard
easy,
to please.
bro.
I'm not hard to please. Listen, what did we find out the name of her spaghetti was? Suicide spaghetti? What was it?
What was it?
What? Suicide spaghetti?
What was it?
I got
she told us at the gym. Yeah, she told us at the gym.
It's a name for that.
Yeah, for the spaghetti you do.
It's
a specific name for it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I told you guys the name?
No, the chick at the gym told us the name. Because we
I heard about that before.
Donnie goes to random people at the gym and talks about your food. That's how wild this shit is.
Mike prompts me to go and talk to random people. He did it today at the gym.
I did. Damn, I did.
You sure did.
Not prompts me.
I know. I literally said, Donnie, go ask her what the exercise does.
You know,
because if I ask, then it's you're trying to smile and kiki.
Yeah, because Mike don't know how to talk to people without squinting his eyes. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 9:00. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up because I love you guys so much, and I don't know much longer we're gonna have this anniversary couple on with us. But if you love this show and what it's done for you, go to our Cash App, $ maybe this will help. $1, $2, $20. It's $88 per month for us to stay online. But if you want to help out in any way, we appreciate it. And thank you so much.
Indeed.
How you guys holding up on time? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good.
All
right, cool. Well, then let's get into something a little bit deeper here. Oh, I had a list of questions I wanted to ask you, sis.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Oh my God. Before we do that, sister, are you nervous? Please. Not you. Mike. Mike is nervous. Sister of mine.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Please explain to me and the people when this post says the most romantic thing is clarity. What does that mean when a woman says the most romantic thing is clarity?
That means that leaves nothing to the imagination. I don't want to have to wonder about anything. So be 1000% clear with me.
Okay. What amount of wandering is your responsibility versus mine?
That's a great question. What amount of wandering is your responsibility?
Because in the gym, me and Mike have a motto says, just don't. If you don't want to wander, then don't wander. But it's fair to say that sometimes things that I do could influence you wandering beyond your ability to stop the wandering. So how much of that are you taking accountability for when it comes to I don't want to wander?
You want a percentage or
however you can see best to convey it.
So if I'm thinking about how much is my responsibility, I think it's my responsibility just as much as it's your responsibility. So if I'm not clear on something, I should ask the question. Now, if I ask a question and I don't feel like your answer is clear enough, then that's where we go. Because, sometimes people talk in circles and they're not as clear. If I ask you a direct question, you can't give me a direct answer, then that's still not clear.
So let's work with that, because I think that the confusion comes in as direct as you want to be. I think a man sees a direct question as a yes or no question. A woman sees a direct question as, how do you feel? And although it's a very direct question, feelings are so foggy. It's hard to give
but
language.
If I ask you how you feel, then tell me how you feel. That's the question.
Know?
Then say that. You can
now,
say,
will that leave you clear though?
Huh?
Will that if he says I don't know, will that give you clarity?
No, it doesn't give me clarity, but it's something that we can revisit later. But I know that it's going to be revisited. It's the same thing. I can tell you right now. You ask me this question, I can say, "Ooh, I don't know. Can we come back to that one?"
What if I don't want to tell you? What if I don't feel that I'm ready to tell you? What if I don't feel like I want to tell you? What if I don't feel safe in telling you? Then what?
Then you should say that.
Okay, so you say, hey, babe, how are you feeling about XYZ? And I say, I don't feel like talking about that, or I don't want to talk about that with you.
Okay.
That wouldn't sting. That wouldn't cause more questions like a why. I know the answer now, but let's talk about in previous relationships.
Okay.
Would that raise a flag for you or for some women, because their partner, their boyfriend, whoever, doesn't want to share something that the woman feels like they should?
I think it depends on what we're talking about. If I ask you a question, where were you? And I couldn't get a hold of you last night at 9:30, and you say, I don't want to talk about that with you. Of course, it would be like, you got me messed up. But if it's you're asking the question of, I don't know, how was your day? Tell me what happened. And they're like, I don't really want to talk about it because maybe something happened at work and it was a little too heavy, or something happened, and they don't want to talk about it. Okay, that's fair. I think it depends on what we're talking about.
These are so safe. So let's get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, let's please.
When a woman says, how do you feel about me? Is there something else that she's asking that we're not hearing? Because if I say nice, is a feeling.
Feel like she's nice?
I feel nice about you. Is a technically
no,
it's a
nigga,
feeling.
that's not an answer.
So what is the actual question? Because that is an answer. How
that's good, bro.
I feel nice.
Feel about me? What are your feelings regarding me?
Oh,
they're nice.
Okay. What does that mean?
Okay, so we're going deeper. So is a deeper question. What is a better way to ask that question if you're giving a woman advice, knowing that men don't always connect on that logical, emotional level? We can, but it takes us both a little. It takes a woman a little bit of time to recalibrate to logic. It takes a man a little bit of time to recalibrate to emotion in most cases.
Okay.
So what's a better way to ask that question?
What's crazy is in my head, I'm like, ain't no better way. If you don't know what that, if you don't know the question. But if I'm thinking about it, I would say, do you have romantic feelings toward me?
That's
are you
good.
dating this person?
It doesn't even matter because it's happened in multiple situations.
Okay, got you.
Sometimes people date you in their own head.
Okay, so maybe it's the do you have romantic feelings towards me, or what are your romantic feelings around us or around me and you? Maybe that's a better question. Is that something that I would ask? No, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about me?
Even after there's a better question.
But I wouldn't even think about it. I didn't know there's a better question until right now.
That's crazy.
This is why this show is helpful.
But also your answer is diabolical, and it's diabolical. What are your feelings about me? Nice. That doesn't even make sense.
I think that my initial
Break it down. How does that make sense?
Like if we know what the definition. Go ahead, Donovan, since it was your answer.
I was gonna say if both people are open to working to get into the answer they want, it starts with nice. That's a great place to start.
It could have been fucked up.
It could it's nice. Like, oh, so what's nice about it? Because if me and Mike can say this, for the majority of men that we know, we don't go around all day checking in with how we feel about things. We check in with what we got to get done.
Yes.
And so our feelings, like, it takes us a while to go, shit, I got to walk to the back of my mental house to go into my feelings room to give you an answer. But I know initially, oh, I love you and I like you, or, oh, this is nice. And you want more than that. It's going to take a minute for me to travel down that hallway. I don't think men think about how they.
You didn't say that. You said my feelings are nice. You didn't say I love you and blah blah blah. That leads to something else. Nice is
I had to get there. I think, but like me and Mike both said nice. That's a great start.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're also talking about both of you, right?
Okay.
You guys. This is not something. If someone was to ask you that question, you're not gonna say nice. You guys are always both.
I will tell you,
the ability in your head enough to know what your emotions are.
When me and Mike talk to each other, it's so much easier for us to come up with deeper questions.
Okay.
Honestly, in these situations that I found myself in the past, the environment is not the same as when I'm talking to Mike. That's why the answer sometimes doesn't come out the same way. Okay. It sounds more like an ultimatum or you're being interrogated versus you're curious. Mm-hmm. When Mike, because Michael asked me, "Oh, how you feel about her?" I'm like, dude, honestly, bro, there are butterflies sometimes when I'm around her. It's easier. And none of these are real like big feelings yet, but I'm working my way through it and he's just listening. Versus if I start that way with a girl, that's not what I'm asking you.
Ooh, retreat.
Help. And then the worst thing that happens is you start looking for the right answer instead of the honest one.
Ooh.
So okay, let me stop you there.
Let's
go. Right answer is always the honest answer. The right answer.
But he gave his honest. But he gave his honest answer, and it was met with, "That's not what I'm talking about."
Okay, did you ask her to explain that? Okay, if you're not talking about that, then what are you?
Oh, well, I have
more context around that.
That's not right for him to have to do. She should have asked him. He gave the answer. She should have asked him, what do you mean by that? As opposed to just going off the handle of, that's not what I'm talking about. It's not his job to then, to then ask her, well, I meant, or what did you mean by, that's not his job. He answered the question in his own honesty, where he felt he was being honest at. It's not his job to then try to figure out, well, what does honest mean to you? No, you asked the question. What do you mean by nice? Now we can go somewhere.
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day,
good guy.
If we're having a conversation, you have to also think, how do we get here? Like, why did she come at you that way? Is it because you've been unclear maybe in the past with something?
Or because she talked to one of her homegirls and she was telling her how her boy feels about her, and now she wants to know how you feel.
Right. Because it be that though. It be that
so many different nuances, but I think this conversation, the hope that I want to get from this conversation, and maybe helps us and the viewers, is to consider the question. If you're a guy or a girl, consider the question that you're asking before you demand a high level of clarity. If it's not a high level question, you may not get, or a detailed or specific enough question, you may not get the answer you're looking for initially.
But you don't get to dictate what's high level to me.
And you don't get to dictate what the type of response that he gives.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. You have to ask a leading question.
And so, she said, let Jay cook. and so the reason I bring this up, is because I hear online too much of the war of the sexes, right? Men versus women. Mm-hmm. And this is what it comes down to. It's almost like I get to this place to where now I'm bucking up and she's bucking up and you're bucking up because we're pressed on getting our way, getting things understood our way. I think it's hard to be with someone who won't meet you in a place of humility versus this place of superiority. And it's like, I can humble myself and try to explain that in a better way. It's almost like me and one of my friends talk about putting ourselves in each other's shoes often. That's because it's from that lens. Like, let me not walk into this expecting that you go throughout your day like I do. thinking about the things that I think about, and you're wired the way that I'm wired. When I have a different cycle than you, I have a different hormonal routine than you do. When I walk into it with that kind of empathy, I can start to think like, all right, well, I'm going to ask this question. I want a direct one, but there's a great chance they may not get it off the jump. And I think that that's where you start to have some of the most beautiful conversations with the opposite sex that don't have to turn into arguments.
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't think anything needs to turn into an argument, because we should be able to have this discussion just like this. If we cannot, then that's a different issue. I think we're talking about. But again, like I'm going to say it again. I was today years old. I would have asked that question the way that I answered, because I would have thought you would have known what I was talking about.
That's wild.
But if
this is so helpful.
Yeah, because if I ask you, what are your feelings about me? You say nice. I'm gonna get you like, what? Don't be on FaceTime, because you're gonna see this face, and I'm gonna be like, huh?
And think about how now so many people are gonna be impacted by, oh, well, the guys are sitting here like, well, before I answer, let me ask for more clarity. And the girls are sitting here, or possibly sitting here saying, I really want to know about romantic feelings, not the rest of them. So let me ask that exclusively or specifically.
That's good. I want to pull up what Ali said. By the way, what up, Rich? I want to pull up what Ali said. She said, "Nah, at 46, he should know exactly what she is asking." And I feel like that's wild to assume that because of age that somehow men can read women's minds, or should we just assume that everything you say is coming from an emotional standpoint? Because then we're gonna be wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? So we can assume all day long that you're talking emotionally, but then if we call you guys emotional, then that's a problem. So I feel like asking clarifying questions, you can never be too old or too young to do that.
Yeah, that's true. But if we're gonna be honest here, if a girl is asking you how you feel about me, it's not like I see you as a friend. You guys are, there's something more there, clearly.
I would disagree, because sometimes women and sometimes men can make up their own things about y'all's relationship, about how y'all feel, because we work out at the gym every day and we high five and I've showed you a few workouts. All of a sudden you think that we're in some type of romantic type of relationship. And I'm like, nah, I wasn't seeing you like that. I just thought you was cool. We hang out at the gym, we laugh, we talk, but that doesn't mean that I'm trying to date you.
So let's aim this at something so that it can be more productive, right? Two situations I want to aim it at, right? First, I want to start in marriage. Today, Mike, if Janae asked you, how do you feel about me? Before you answer the question, what do you think she's asking you?
I would think that she's asking how I feel she's doing in our relationship.
Sis, would that be accurate if you asked him how do you feel about me?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move this over into the dating arena where you're getting to know somebody and the woman says, how do you feel about me? Sis, inform men on what is the depth of what she's really asking there. Even though she's asking it plainly, is there something that a man, listening to us talk this last 5 minutes, is there something that a man might be missing in that question?
Clearly you guys are missing it all.
Relax.
You just said nice. Relax. But if a woman is asking you that, she's asking you, how do you feel about her romantically? Where are you guys going? What are you guys doing? Is this leading to something? You know, our
clarity, like you said.
Clarity.
Gotcha.
That's what she means.
And there's these moments that I've come across, and you're about to be a coach for a little bit, where women have needed an extra layer of, what is it, affirming?
Okay.
Which, you know what I'm saying, if you're really into her, then, you know, it should be a joy to do that. But in this arena, sometimes, you know, emotions can fluctuate. And sometimes that answer that they're looking for is really just for a soothing opportunity for them than real, you know, understanding, because you can break your back doing as a man, Mike, we've talked about this. You can do all the things, like you can show up and do all the manual labor and then the care, and don't forget the birthdays and all that kind of stuff, and do these things, and women can still wonder how you feel about me. So explain, if you could, try to give some insight to how does the things that we do don't translate into clarity.
Okay. Or I'm sorry, bro. Or can I add to how is it that the things that we do don't translate into how we feel?
Okay.
Is that also kind of where you're at with it?
It's in the same path.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking about things that you guys do, and it's not translating to her in her mind.
Yeah.
So okay. So I kind of want an example. Is this something so I can speak directly to that?
Example of, I think that's what we're looking for too, because when it happens, I'm asking like,
I think she's asking for what does it do for you? That like hypothetically, what is it that these men are doing that the women should see as, hey, isn't it obvious because I'm doing XYZ? What is the XYZ?
Oh, what would be the XYZ in a situation? I think, well, I look at maybe a previous relationship a while ago. There's the text every day. There's the going out on dates. There's the little reminders I send, the scriptures or the songs. There's picking you up. There's reminding you that you have a test that day. There's praying for you. You know what I'm saying, before you go into that test. There's saying, hey, I got this for your dog. I know it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Say less, my nigga. I know you into her. If she can't see it.
So, but this is the thing. That all of that is great. You do all these things, right? How am I supposed to know as the woman that is you choosing me, or that and that it's not? How do I know you don't do this for other people, right? Because so that sounds like access, like maybe you have more access to me, or I do things for you I don't do for other people. How am I supposed to know that as a woman?
Let me ask you a question then. Would the better question be then, what makes me special?
Ooh.
Versus how do you feel about me?
I mean, that's fair.
I like that.
I think that what makes you special would provoke a different response from me than how do you feel about me?
Okay.
That's good.
As we try to unpack this, because I promise you, I believe somebody out there is getting ready to ask their girl or a woman this question. And I think that if they're hearing this conversation, I think it's going to help it go a lot better.
Yeah.
What makes me special to you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of what you do, I'm looking for something in the realm of feelings, but at first glance, it sounds like a circle, because it's like, I'm doing this because I feel this way about you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're doing this for other people. Well, what if I was, but I'm still doing it for you? Would that make you not appreciate it as much because I do this for everybody? And said, no, it wouldn't. Okay, well then what about X, Y, and Z? I only do that with you. Does that kind of give you a little more clarity? Well, what's the feeling?
Ooh, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah, so I feel
but it's the reality of so many.
No, it is.
No, it is because it is. As women, we do want to feel special. We don't want you. I don't want Mike to do what he does for me for other women.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what
obviously
part
different
though?
now, because now this is my
what
husband.
part is crazy?
Because there's certain things you see your man doing, you're like, that's because he's a good man. He'll open the door for that woman. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll loan somebody $5 or whatnot. But then I think that men look at things like, okay, so what are the specific things that you don't want me to do, or you feel and we can, because we create a checklist like, okay, cool, I can follow this. But if you tell me I don't want you to make me feel unimportant, that's hard for us to carry out. That's a hard
because you don't know how they feel unimportant.
I have a question. So with us, I don't feel like we've ever had this conversation of how do I feel about you? Even if you've wondered, why is it that you never asked? Was it something that I showed you that you just knew, or was it that you just didn't care because the relationship was going? Like, what? Why have you never asked me that question?
I don't think I've ever had to fully ask you that question, but I do think it's come up with situations in the past that we've gone through, and we've talked through those situations.
But I feel like that's because of infidelity. I'm talking about before that, or when we were good, when we were dating, and all these things. You never asked me how I felt about you.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't feel like I had to.
Why?
Because I knew.
But how?
Because you told me you loved me,
and that sufficed for her.
Okay.
Yeah,
what I'm hearing is that sometimes the answer needs to match whatever her deficit is. If she doesn't have a great deficit, then maybe the answer doesn't need to be as robust as someone who just tell me you love me. That's the culture I come from. That's what I know. And this is what that means for me. And you're already showing that. But again, like it's different per every woman. Some women might have a different kind of substance.
Is you showed me that. I feel
in
like
a way you understood it.
And I didn't have to.
I like that in a way that you understood.
Correct.
So that made me look different for different women.
Right.
For sure.
So it's funny because I told Mike the other day, I said, Mike didn't want to be in a relationship when we met. And that's fine. I said, that's cool. I said, but your actions didn't match that. That's how I know that was BS. Because your actions didn't match it. So as women, you can say whatever it is you want to say, but if your actions are the polar opposite of that, that's what I have to go on.
And I think sometimes your actions can be spot on. And like Rashonda said, there's sometimes they just need the validation.
And that's fine. I feel like with the validation, I would just like you to admit that that's what this is. Because sometimes these things can turn into full-blown World War II arguments. And all you got to say, I'm only asking because I need validation, or I'm feeling ugly today, or I'm feeling fat today, or I'm feeling unloved today, or I'm feeling unwanted today. And I just wanted you to say something nice to me. Cool. Come over here. Get over here. I'll give it to you. I think
the hard part about that, though, is that when you feel unwanted, it's hard for you to say, I feel unwanted. You just want to know, do you want me? Like, of course I want you. What are you talking about? Like, I think that if you're actually in the emotion, your logic is not operating the same way.
In the emotion. Yeah. I can see that.
Versus on the outside of it. Why don't you just ask me? It's like asking a drunk person, why don't you just walk straight? I can't right now. I'm drunk. So when you're drunk on emotions, I don't think that we as partners, if you're on the other side of it, should be requiring a high level of logic when the person in front of you can see that it's such a high level of emotions that they're in. They're swimming in it.
I say drink responsibly then. That's what I say. Or have a designated driver that can explain your emotions for you or something. But if you're that emotional to where you can't give any kind of rational, I'm not saying that I don't understand it, because we see it every day with road rage and people pulling over and killing people over these type of things and not thinking because of their emotions. But I feel like in a relationship, like y'all supposed to be on the same team. Like that's like Jordan, and we've seen it. That's like Jordan and Pippen getting into an argument on the floor during the middle of the game. That's crazy.
It happens. And I think that even in the midst of all these conversations, I don't think anybody's going to get it right 100% of the time, which is why grace and forgiveness are so important. Being quick to forgive comes from someone who is a practicer of compassion and empathy, we were both a little out of pocket. You went far left, but I can see, like, I can tell you, man, I just even recently going through things with my family.
Yeah.
And around my grandmother and seeing how that kind of situation can heighten emotions.
Yeah.
I've been doing all this self-work so that when people are triggered in front of me, I'm not also triggered.
Yeah.
This is why I think that doing your work, going to counseling, having your brother time, I think that's why it's so important for anybody out there, men or women, because if not, then you are really susceptible to whenever somebody else is triggered, you're going to get triggered as well. But who amongst us can stay stable? Who amongst us has recalibrated themselves to where their knee-jerk reaction is no longer judgment, but curiosity and compassion, and saying, let's talk about it. Because y'all never had an argument.
Not once, ever. Even when I was doing crazy stuff outside of our relationship, it was never an argument. It was always conversation. It was never. And when I say argument, I'm not saying that we don't disagree on things. You know what I mean? But those disagreements never turn into any salty feelings. They don't never turn into I'm not talking to you. They don't ever turn into raised voices. Like none of it. Because for what? You know what I mean? And I feel like I feel like she's really helped me that because I came from with my son's mom. I came from a very toxic, yelling, you know what I mean, physical pushing. I came from that type of relationship. She don't argue. She don't raise her voice unless she's really, really taken there. But for the most part, she's the one that really taught me how to communicate. So when my energy starts to rise and hers stays even, it automatically causes me to stay even. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But if you got two unregulated people,
I guess I feel like, you know, when people respond to things out of emotion, people don't forget that stuff. There are words that can be said that you may say later, I don't mean that, but you don't forget that. And so to avoid that, because emotions are high on both sides, if there's whatever the issue may be, I don't like to argue because I don't want to respond to anything out of emotion. For me, it's about clarity and it's about understanding. When Mike was, you know, we had our issues, I always would tell him, like, I need to understand like where this comes from, like the why, you know what I mean? And so
crazy.
that's always been my posture because I wanted to understand. And that's how I'm able to move forward, is the understanding. And so
how did you get there though? How did you get there? Because, you know, me and Donnie were just talking about this, you know, recently, maybe even today. Like, so many women want the truth and they ask for the truth and just tell me the truth. And then when you give them what your truth is, hey, I found this other woman extremely attractive and I thought about her for half of the day. When you tell them that, they go left. Oh, when you cheating, you can get your shit and get out and you can go be what. Now it's not safe no more. It's not safe here no more for me to explain nothing else.
I would say that's I try to classify when I'm having very intense conversations with people about serious subject. I classify immediate response versus intentional response. Right? For her to be extremely upset like that before I'm triggered by it, I'm gonna say, okay, that's understandable as a knee-jerk reaction. I don't think that's her final reaction or response.
Well, help me, bro. Help me, because now you're gonna put on your coach's hat. So help me with that, because if you're asking me for my opinion, then you should be prepping yourself for whatever negative or positive that there could be. So a knee-jerk, I don't understand how a knee-jerk can automatically go to 10 when you just sit here and ask me for my truth.
The rule that I apply in my own head is when that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show come out, asking, is that your final answer? I always give people grace in their first response because sometimes they had to hear themselves say it. To be like, okay, hold on. That was hot. I went way left. Let me recalibrate a little bit. Is that your final answer? Because if you go to court or something and they said this in response, like, did you ask for any follow-up? Did you ask any follow-up questions? Did you say, are you sure? Did you like that? That is helpful for both of you guys. And I think that is a form of grace.
Yeah.
If you care about somebody, you know, giving them an out before. And now if they put their 10 toes down, hey, okay. But is that, hey, you know what I'm saying? You just a boy, you can't believe you're like, babe, I know that probably wasn't the answer you wanted to hear, but is that your final answer? That's your final response to me? No, I need a minute. Cool. Then let's revisit this later after you cooled down. Because if I'm gonna hold that against you when I know that you was heated, I don't know how fair that is. I wouldn't want that done to me.
Yeah.
And I'll say this though, back to what my sister was saying about words. There's this phrase, and I think it's a book called War Words. And there's words that you can say in the midst of arguments that can devastate a person. It can be very hard to get over. Did you know, in a very practical way, some of those war words are always and never? And I don't know. And I know this has been, I think that was hyper focused on men for this.
Definitely.
Women have a tendency in those big arguments say you always or you never. And for men, it hits because it speaks to our productivity, which is where we usually house our identity. And you said, I missed it twice, but I never. And so again, now this is why, being cautious and being more accurate with your words makes a big deal when you're having intense conversations, because you can be the one that ushers left just by saying, "Oh, no, I didn't mean always. I didn't mean always. It was those few times, but it just feels like always in this moment." However you want to try to clean that up.
No, that's good, and I think that comes with, which is what I feel like we operate now with, intentional conversation. I feel like when we talk to each other, we're very mindful about tone. We're mindful about, okay, let me think about, if I say this like this, how would that make her? We're just mindful about the way we talk to each other, not out of fear of pissing each other off, but more so just out of care for each other's emotions and love for one another. And we know why we're having these sometimes difficult conversations. It's not to hurt you. It's not to hurt me. It's because we want to get better.
And I just finished telling one of my friends that, man, caution doesn't mean that you're afraid of something. It means you care about something.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, there's a few different directions I can go with this, but I just want to make a pit stop real quick. Pit stop says, unfortunately, you can deny your childhood trauma all you want, but your romantic life will reveal the truth every time.
For sure.
You want to speak on that, or?
For sure.
What y'all got on that topic?
So on my side, yeah, man, it was the things that I was exposed to, that I exposed myself to, just left me looking at relationships just a little skewed, you know what I mean? And then seeing so many of my childhood, friends, mom and dads, and then eventually my own mom and dad get divorced, and a lot of like single parent homes and things like that. And then you hear in the music, you know what I mean? So I feel like when I became an adult, I feel like, yeah, being married is cool. I would want that. Or being in a relationship is cool. I want that. But I don't think I ever put any real stock into the longevity of marriage, because all the ones that I thought were, oh, this is dope, my parents been together for 20 something years, and then you get divorced. All my real examples that I had of what I thought were healthy marriages ended. So I think it took a lot of reworking in my own brain, a lot of therapy, a lot of conversations that you and I have, a lot of conversations that Janae and I have, to really, reprogram, if you will, my views that I had in my younger years to now how I view relationship.
I like it, because it's one thing to try to build hope from what you imagine versus building hope from what you can touch.
Yeah.
And I heard on one podcast before, the guy asked the people who were on the panel, how many of the women in your life are married? And I think one person said, well, my aunt is, but everybody else, all the women were single. And so in trying to create hope for something, when you only see one person or no people in your life, only people on TV maybe or movie has it, it can be done, but it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, man, it is.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that I didn't want to glance over what Mike said, sometimes the music you listen to reinforces the trauma. Yeah. And so if you had certain issues and you have an artist that you like and they had the same issues, and you're also trying to go to counseling and therapy and heal while they're reinforcing you, like it's like the cartoon, like you're digging up the dirt and then somebody you putting it right back in.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that goes back to some R&B songs.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why sometimes these big alterations happen after a breakup, because you put on your breakup playlist. And now this is why you and him can't have a follow-up conversation and maybe see if everybody said what they meant, or it has to be like this toxic environment now because you went straight to, your favorite artist.
Yeah. That's why everything in the box to the left. When really what you want is you want them back, and you want to talk to them and ask them why. But Beyonce then got you believing that just pack his shit up and send him on his way.
And the fact of the matter is that it's crazy when you start getting older and you listen to these R&B songs, you recognize they just sung them, they didn't write them or live them.
Bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, me and Janae, real quick, sidebar conversation. Me and Janae, we were listening to old school R&B songs, SWV, Total. Do you know that most of these songs that these women were singing was about them cheating on a man?
You're my little secret. Like, what?
We were blown away in the car. Like, these are women singing about cheating on their men. These are not men. The men were singing the songs about "I love you" and "I'm happy to be with you," and the women were singing the songs about cheating. Come back. Wow, shit, bro. But babe, what about you? Childhood trauma?
Oh, I think mine's similar to yours. My parents were married for 20-something years and got divorced. And I think where my trauma started, obviously, I think it was before that, because of like infidelity, right? And that's trickled over into all of my relationships. And I would be a fool to think that it wouldn't show up somewhere else until I was able to heal my thoughts and emotions around that.
Can you, with your permission, can you kind of just share, because I think that would really help some women that are thinking that they're the issue and they're the problem because they've experienced infidelity in multiple relationships.
Yeah. So from what I've gathered and know now, 9 times out of 10, if a man is cheating, it doesn't directly have to do with you. It has to do with what he lacks. And so his lack obviously now affects you, but it doesn't typically have to do with you exactly. And I didn't find that out until way later in my life. So me internalizing and thinking I did something wrong, something is wrong with me. So at some point that made me now think and equate love to like doing. I had to physically be doing something to gain love from somebody, from a man. And so it's funny because one time Mike had told me, like, you don't have to do anything, like, and I love you regardless. You know, so you know, so that, and so for anybody who's watching who may, you know, deal with that issue, sometimes it is your fault, but for 9 times out of 10, it is not your fault that someone is cheating on you. You know, it's just what they lack, and they have to figure out what they lack in order to be able to be better.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said, sis.
Thank you.
Ali said, well said. My ex-husband told me all his cheating had nothing to do with me, that I was the best wife he didn't deserve.
And he's probably right. He's right when he says that. He didn't cheat on you because you lacked anything. He cheated because he lacked everything he needed to be a good man.
Oh, they chiming in now. Yes. All right. I want to switch gears just a little bit. I'm not sure what direction I want to go, but I think I want to tap into the clarity conversation just a little bit more.
Okay.
And then I want to go a different direction with Mike. So going back to that clarity conversation, this says dating with intention doesn't mean I'm promising forever. It means I'm paying attention to see if forever makes sense with you. First, before we get too deep in it, do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think.
Okay. So when you are dating and you're saying it means I'm paying attention to see if forever makes sense with you, how long do you have to figure that out?
So that's not a question that I can answer.
That's the same question as how do you feel about me? They come from the same
answer.
They come from the same heart.
As a man, I would think, and I don't know because I'm not a man, I would think you would know there should be qualifiers that you're looking for. Yeah, there should be qualifiers that you look for, right, when you're dating somebody. And if you're dating someone with intention, you should be looking for these qualifiers.
That's good.
But also, you guys get to define what that is. Well, you get to define what it is for you. She defines what it is for her. And you guys would get to define what it is together. And so I don't know if you guys ever watched this. You guys used to watch, it's called Love. It was called Love Is. It was a show.
With Ray J?
Mara Rocket Kill back in the day. It never got renewed. But she had said something that always stuck with me. And she said, love is possible as long as you define it for yourself. So same thing when it comes to your intentional dating, you guys can intentionally date and whatever that looks like, but you guys have to define it.
So what would you say to where you now have these qualifiers and this vision and it doesn't exactly match up? And so then you have the other person saying, hey, maybe it's not packaged like you want, or maybe it doesn't look exactly like you want and you're trying to control it, but it's flowing. So just let it flow.
But what okay, I'm taking back.
So
what does it match up?
The qualifiers that you have.
Okay, so your qualifiers and her qualifiers don't match.
No, your qualifiers, you're not seeing them, but you're also seeing something that's nice, but it's not matching up to your qualifiers. Do you say, let me try and see if this can work also? Or do you draw a hard line at your qualifiers?
So are your qualifiers, has she been put in that position to show if the qualifiers would work?
That's what we're saying. Yes.
Okay. And they don't.
No.
And you've seen this multiple times, or it's like a one-time thing?
Because this is my experience often comes from the people that I've coached, right? I do a lot of relationship coaching, or I did a lot more in the past. And then also I've had my own relationships. And so I see these moments where it's almost like you're at the crossroads of, do I draw a hard line? Or maybe I didn't even know that this should have been a qualifier. Maybe this qualifier is expired and it's too rigid.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you could be into somebody and they'll make you want to change your mind about a qualifier.
Yeah, for sure. Also, and this might just be how you are, but when it comes to you dating somebody and then you're talking about seeing stuff from people that you coach, that person's not your client. And so it sounds like you're seeing that person kind of as a client. So
my question to you was being informed from my clientele. No, I'm asking this question from the clients that I've had. I definitely create my own qualifiers.
I got you. Okay, because I'm like, what are we talking about? Okay,
I don't want to marry who they want. I want to marry who I want. Yeah, like Mike say, you ain't got my relationship goals, nigga. You don't know what I care about.
Okay, so then take me back. Your question was what about the qualifiers?
So what if you have qualifiers, but you're into this person so much they start to make you question if those qualifiers are valid, if they should remain what they are, because maybe you feel a certain type of way. How do you know if the qualifiers you have should remain as qualifiers?
Well, are they a non-negotiable or not?
I guess anything could be negotiable.
No,
right?
No.
So how do you identify what is a non-negotiable? Because sometimes well, I want to make sure that me and her believe in the same God, and you meet her and everything's good and she's kind of coming around to it, but not quite there yet. And you're like, oh, she's headed in that direction. That's a compromise on a qualifier.
So she believes in a totally other God, or she's just not?
I feel like we're getting way too far. So I feel
like that was pretty clear.
I feel like if there's a inkling or any kind of wiggle room in what you're calling a non-negotiable, then it's not a non-negotiable.
Correct. That's why I said, for me, I don't ever want to be with someone who smokes again.
So that was a qualifier for you.
For me. Yeah.
It's so as good, as handsome as Mike was, if he ever lit up a stogie, that was it.
I think it's one thing to you want to smoke a cigar every once in a while. It's another thing to smoke on a daily basis. You smoke cigarettes and then you smoke weed right after that. My ex-boyfriend, that's how I lived in a house like that.
Was a large sweater,
aren't you?
And so never again.
In that large hoodie, is that what he smoked in?
I thought it smelled like smoke, to be honest. But I wasn't finna say nothing. Your brother brought it up.
I'm not taking one of y'all no more.
Your brother brought it up.
That was just clickbait. That was clickbait. I'm sorry. Let me move on to the next topic. Mike, let me ask you a question. And your wife might be able to support this. Do you believe that finding a wife has to be the most difficult phase in a man's life?
Finding a wife has to be the most difficult. So off bat, it doesn't have to.
Is it typically?
Damn. I would say yes, and here's why I would say yes. For majority of men, not all men, a lot of us don't mature to a little bit later in life. So Like as far as military, I know a lot of military guys who are younger, they get married when they're young because they have this girlfriend. So let me marry you before I go off to war. So, I have something to come back, all the things. So sometimes, as men, like I said, we mature a little bit later. So our picker doesn't fully bloom until later on in life. So the way we're choosing women to marry, the non-negotiables that we may have at a younger age, or the thought process, oh, she fine, I gotta marry her. Look at all that ass, I gotta marry her. Things that don't matter sometimes matter more when you're younger and a little bit more immature.
And I would say to that, the difficulty of it. And I know that, when it says that it's the most difficult phase in a man's life, finding a wife, I do believe that there's a portion of that is true, because it could be a phase, right? Or a moment, or a season, or, a transition that you're trying to get into. Because in essence, especially the culture that we come from, everything that you've built, everything that you care about, you're now going to put that woman above.
Yep.
And I think that a man who is looking for a wife is typically a man who takes pride in the things that he's created and done and is responsible for. And to just choose any woman. I was looking at this verse earlier, was something that Sis said. It's from Proverbs 4:1. It says, a wise woman builds her home through wisdom, intentional actions, and godly character. Strengthening her family is unity and joy. Conversely, a foolish woman tears her own house down with her own hands. And the reason I think that is difficult for a lot of men, and that dating phase takes a little bit longer for them, or that vetting process takes a little bit longer, because we know the power that we're about to bestow her with.
Yeah.
You can, and I'm not saying that a woman doesn't have anything that she can't destroy, but in California, women probably going to walk away with more than they came with in most cases.
Yeah.
But when I look at this from a man's point of view, when I see the pressure that's put on men, just go ahead and marry her, step out there on faith. And it's almost like you're not really taking into consideration, what it's going to cost you. And sometimes for some men, it doesn't make sense in their brain. And Sis, I think you remember the episode we had where we talked about men and women get married for different reasons. Women maybe for the most part get married because they feel something they never felt before, and men for the most part have a tendency to get married when it makes the most sense. Like, this person makes sense to me. So when I'm looking at this topic, I guess me and Mike are kind of expressing why it would make it difficult for a man. Sis, when you look at this topic, do you think that it should be difficult for men at all to find a wife, or are we making it difficult on ourselves?
So I guess I really didn't consider the thing you guys just mentioned, because in my head I'm like, it shouldn't be difficult to find a wife. But if you're looking at it from a standpoint of what you're going to bestow upon her, I don't think that a lot of men think about it like that. I could be totally wrong. I think maybe men who have a little more life experience think about it like that. But men in their 20s, and they're talking about, oh, she got a fat ass, I need to marry her, they're not thinking about what they're going to bestow upon her besides this, day stuff. Right. I was trying not to,
Sorry.
Yeah. But
even if they don't early on, I think this is why some people get cold feet before the marriage, because their uncle or somebody gonna sit them down and say, are you sure? And an older man may start having these conversations with them. And I think that's why some men back out. And I think it's a large number of men that back out because someone has that sobering conversation with them, like, yo, death to you, bro. Like, it's not. I remember when the men in Vegas, not in Vegas, in Texas, told me, he said, you don't know what marriage is. Marriage is laying your life down for someone who may never appreciate it or reciprocate it. If she's not that person for you, then don't marry her.
Yeah, I think that's, I understand like the older generation like coming in and like, well, let me tell you my experience. Yeah, but now you're putting your experience on somebody else's that may not be their experience. They're not marrying the type of woman you married. They could be marrying somebody totally opposite. And now you are telling them A, B, and C, and it's putting them in a different way than they're supposed to go. That's why I think it's important that you have your relationship with the Lord so he can verify for you. So then you have your validation points through him, through somebody else.
And that's still challenging for me. I was having a conversation with a group of friends the other day, and it's like if that was the solution that it appears to be, then why do so many Christians get divorced? And so at some point we had to start asking, like, are you just saying you're hearing from God, or are you really hearing from God? For me, what it comes down to is the pressure. Are you in an environment where there's pressure to make a decision? I think your best decisions come from non-pressure environments. And so I think that's something that maybe men and women both need to hear, because if you're pressuring somebody, the chances are more than likely that they're not going to make an honest decision or be able to stick to it.
I never wanted to pressure a man into being with me or marry me or ask me, to marry you or whatever the case may be. No woman wants to pressure a man into that. Well,
it's just like this. It's because I say you hear all the time and you see all the time. You are dating this man for let's say 7 years. You guys are dating. And you guys go out to dinner with family and friends. Well, when are y'all gonna get married? And the homegirl, y'all not married yet? And so it's pressure.
Listen,
you personally may not cause it, but it's all around men.
Yes, but so you said something. 7 years. We're dating for 7 years. How old are we? The fact that we need to date for 7 years and we don't know yet if we want to be married. I think you and I probably would have been married earlier had other things, fallen in place differently, right? I don't think you need 7 years to know.
So I think Donnie's initial question was, how long does it take?
I think I always fought against that time frame, because I think that it's not so much about the 7 years, it's the number of experiences. I think you said it earlier. It's just, have you guys both been in situations that would help you verify things? Just because it's been 7 years doesn't even mean that we've been on that many dates. I could be in the military, or I could be busy. Maybe we're going to date once a month. I think people think 7 years, they think that you guys are encountering each other every day, and you still don't have enough information. Sometimes, you can be for sure, and then something significant changes in your life, and then you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, I guess I get that, and I can understand that. But over 7 years, I think you should have been able to see that person in different facets of their life, in different,
This goes back to you saying, were you intentional when you were dating to put them in those different situations?
Correct.
Because if you're just going with the flow, 7 years could easily show up for both of you guys.
Yeah, and I guess for me, thinking at the age that I'm at now, no one has time to be sitting here and 7 years down the line, now you want to get married. Like, I'm not dating somebody for 7 years, waiting on you to make a decision.
And the crazy thing about it, though, is that for some people, where they're at is fine. Some people aren't even, they're like, we'll marry whenever we marry, and there's always those anomalies out there. Sure. But I think this conversation is really tailored to those who feel the need to pressure anything and expecting an honest or an authentic response that they can stay committed to in response to your pressure.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does that question asked me in the beginning?
I just answered.
What do you mean no?
Go ahead.
You answer my question. The question you asked me in the beginning, how do you feel about me? Does that sound like pressure to you?
No.
That's a good question.
No.
I think that I honestly say no. The question doesn't. It also depends on the history of the person asking the question. If this is not, if they have a history of putting you in ultimatums or being confused about how you feel about them. I remember I told the girl, I said, I'm not interested in dating anyone whose internal voice has a bias against me.
Woo.
And so that comes from me being in situations with multiple people to where I would do all the things that they asked, but they inside just wouldn't allow themselves to be convinced that I was really into them. And there was internal dialogue that was going on, which could be trauma. It could be a lot of things. So initially the question doesn't feel like pressure. It feels like a great opportunity for me to express to you, like, damn, like, it's so nice being around you. And I'm using that word again, because what if my life isn't, or what if my experiences have not been nice? Nice probably holds a big value for me. And I say it because it does. I have had the unfortunate opportunity, and not from a victim's narrative, but to be around people who have not been real with me. And it's nice to be around somebody who's authentic and honest and not worried that if they don't fit the script or fit the costume, they're going to hurt my feelings. Like, I'd rather you show me who you are up front than to me to invest and later find out that that's not who you are. So when I meet someone who prioritizes authenticity, the best thing I can say is that just freaking feels nice, man. It's so nice to meet somebody like that. And of course I can expound upon that. But if that person meets my nice response with some kind of judgment, then all of a sudden it's like, how authentic do I feel I can be in this moment?
Yeah. But you also, but what you just said to me is not what you said to me in the beginning. You said you answered it with nice. What you right?
Because we've had an hour and a half to unpack it.
Right. But in your response, you wouldn't think your response should be like, oh, it's nice to be around you, not just nice, like a one-word answer.
It depends how much time I have to answer. If like, what if she would have held that against me from my first response instead of using my new practice? Like, is that your final answer? I'm like, oh shoot, okay, hold on, let me dig deeper. And I've done that before.
She asked you other questions after you said nice, though. She didn't meet you with any kind of static. You asked them other questions. Like, what does that mean? Perfect. I'm glad you asked.
And why you do that, Mike, I would say for everybody who's listening, and I know that some people are just saying this is who I am, be cautious of your facial expressions when you're having intentional conversations, because they convey so much data. And most of the misunderstandings people have in these conversations is not really what they said, it's how you looked when you said it. And I know that you know what I'm saying, it shouldn't be such a big deal, but when somebody's heart is open and you ask them to open their heart to you, if you're looking at them like this, that influences the environment, that influences the chemistry in that moment.
So, well, also keep in mind that not everybody has a poker face, because I do not.
And and I don't think you should have a poker face. I'm just saying that make sure that you know what your face is doing.
I think that's why
it's intentionally doing that.
That's what I think. I think that's why it's important that when you need to have a serious, when you need to have a serious and you know, maybe even a hard conversation,
do it by text.
No,
you don't know me, brother.
No,
come on, man. Come on, man. Give me that. God, send them a text message. Use emojis to express yourself.
Let me
send them a meme.
Every time. It works every time.
I
divorces, breakups,
having a conversation,
cheating needs to all happen through text message. That way they can't get your facial expressions misconstrued.
Listen, I'm getting out of here
because you need to figure out a lie. No, let me ask you in the moment. I don't like to text in general. I have 200 and some text messages unread right now.
You don't respond to our text message in a group, but it's fine.
Yeah, not until later. Because I don't like
Donnie is the same way. Donnie is the same way. I feel like I'm the only person yes.
Listen, if you got something to say, call me.
You've been blessed with us. I want to put up one last video just for your final thoughts for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us or you've been with us, this is a 1 year anniversary of Forever Daniel. And I just want to leave you guys give them opportunity to give you guys one last tidbit of insight into marriage with this video.
If you're telling me you want to marry them, that means I want you even if we have to go off script. I still want you if I find out one of us can't have children. Wow. I want you even if the financials that I would like to have and the dynamic I would have, if that's not possible, I still want you. If for better or worse, cigarette, yes, I want us to still be hiking when we 80 and holding hands and kissing under the oak tree. Yeah. But if one of us gets sick or one of us has something where we can't do that anymore, I still want you. So do I want to be married or do I want to be married to you?
Whatever comes to you guys' mind, just share with us as some final words.
That's good. I think I like that. The differentiation. Do you want to be married or do you want to be married to that person? Because at the end of the day, marriage is for better or for worse. So all of those things, you can't have kids, you know, I don't know, something happens in the stock market, you guys lose all your money. Do you still want to be married to that person? Or, and for me, that's the unconditional love that a marriage requires. Because if one of those things she can't have kids, you guys lose your money or whatever the case may be. That condition is now set upon you and you want to get a divorce. Because there's always a solution, right? There's a solution to having kids. Someone else can have kids for you, or you can adopt. You can always make more money. There's.
I feel like a lot of people, especially these days, are going into marriages with divorce as an option. Like plan B. Like, man, if this shit don't work, I could just get a divorce. And I feel like the way to go into a marriage is divorce is not an option. There's not. We're gonna stick together. We're gonna figure things out. We're gonna work to. Because I feel like with honest communication, there's very little that can't be worked out. Like there may be hurt feelings. There may be, you know what I mean, some trust that needs to be regained. There may need to be some financial courses. There may need to be some sex classes that y'all got to go take.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's nothing. What if you're saying you love this person and you chose to marry this person? Divorce shouldn't even be an option. You know what I mean? And so many times it's just like birth control. So many times people are using abortions as birth control. You know what I'm saying? Just like people are using divorce as a plan B. Well, nigga, you know, if you fuck up, I'm gonna divorce you, right? Well, shit. What you get married for? If you before we even say I do, you already got a backup plan for a divorce. You shouldn't get married.
Something that I shared with Mike that my mentor shared with me a long time ago. He said you can only exercise it if it's an option. And he said when you remove the option, you also remove the opportunity to exercise it. He said, if you don't want divorce to be an option, marry someone who also doesn't have divorce as an option.
Yeah.
Because he said if it's ever an option, he said you can guarantee life will put you in a situation to exercise it. And I've taken that and applied that to things at the gym and work and anything. If quitting is an option, if giving up is an option, you know what I'm saying to you, if eating that ice cream at midnight is an option, more than likely you're going to be put in a situation to exercise every option that's on the menu. Take it off the menu and be with someone who likes the menu you have and has a similar one.
Yeah.
You guys are great, man.
And so in closing, if I could give a piece of advice for people thinking about getting married or people married or people engaged, I would say practice being vulnerable with your partner. Practice exposing your insecurities to your partner. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we go out once we go into the world, a lot of us, we hide all of our insecurities. We put on makeup. We drive a certain type of car. We present ourselves to the world as having everything figured out. But when we get home, we're a shell of that person. So it's important for you when you do finally say I do, man or woman, to expose those vulnerabilities to your partner. Whether it's I think I'm fat, or I got love handles, or it's my bank account is not really where it should be. Like allow that person to be a partner. If you hide things and if you don't disclose things, then you're taking away that person's option of even being your partner, which is what a marriage should be.
And that's a thing for me. Don't take my option away. That's always been a thing for me. I've told Mike that since the beginning. Do not take my option away to choose how to move in this situation.
Yeah.
So, and even deeper than that, if you're going to be vulnerable with your partner, yes, I do think that's needed. But you have to also be able to be vulnerable with yourself to realize, first, to realize that there is a problem here. So if you can't identify the problem, you can't then speak it and say it to somebody else.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, man. Being vulnerable in your marriage is important. Being vulnerable with yourself and then being vulnerable with your partner, no matter what it is. Don't try to save face. Don't try to assume how they will respond to it. Talk to them. Ask them. Don't take away their vote.
Janae said what Candace said. She said be completely naked to your partner, and that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like this is where I'm at with everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need a little rubbing tug before I can get started. Whatever it is, brother.
That's good.
Be honest. Be honest. This is the person you're gonna have sex with for the rest of your life.
We should talk about, when it's just me and you on the podcast, just, so for our, maybe, I won't say from our male audience, but women too, just some of the, what is it? I can't think of the word right now.
Nuances?
The consequences of porn.
We should. I'm
and how that impacts your sex life when you are trying to have intimacy with your partner, be it physical or non-physical, because it attacks you at your level of fantasy, which is your imagination, and that impacts your language and your ability to respond.
Listen, bro,
we could because I wanted to get certified as a sex counselor a few years ago, and I was like, man, I just something about that whole arena excites me, but.
It affects. I forget what the actual percentage is, but it's over 50% of men.
Yeah, well, that's good.
That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to start talking. Like me and Denham talk openly about porn and the effects of porn and why that ain't a good look and all of those things. Because so many parents, they just leave their kids in their room to their own devices on the game or on the cell phone.
If you talk to your children or to your spouse or to your brothers or sisters about just the realities of things, you hardly ever have to tell them it's not a good look.
Right.
You gotta have a conversation. They'll come to the conclusion because of your honesty.
Facts.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you're struggling with tonight, we like to leave you guys with a resource at the end of every episode. This is 988. It's the Suicide Crisis Hotline. Maybe some of the things we said tonight were a hard pill to swallow as it pertains to having certain conversations, what men should think, what women should think. And you just want a little bit more clarity about why things are so confusing. They can get you connected to a therapist, a support group, maybe even some resources for you to read or podcasts for you to listen to that might help. But this because you really want the help. If you have suicidal thoughts, you're going through a breakup, Valentine's Day didn't go as you thought it should have, and you're having a hard time digesting those things, reach out. We always try to remind you in this podcast, you don't have to do it alone. We show up on Sundays to help you out, but you need more help than just Sundays for 2 hours. So reach out to this number. If you know somebody else who is struggling, screenshot this and send it over to them. And as I always say, just because you care doesn't mean you know how to care. So just because you see somebody going through something and you want to help doesn't mean that your instinctive response is the best response. Sometimes you need to say, hey, my person's going through this. My wife just had a miscarriage, or my husband just lost his job, or, what I'm saying, my baby sister just got raped, or whatever it is, and say, I really want to jump in and help, but I don't want to be a hindrance. Self-awareness lets you know that just because you want to help doesn't mean you're going to make it better. Your help might make it worse. So reach out to this number, get some instruction on how to approach somebody who's in that mental or emotional state. All right. Who's praying us out tonight? I will. Father God, I just want to thank you for this episode tonight, for what it represented. You did this amazing thing, Father God. You truly have been the apex, the priority of this relationship, and you've seen them through so much. And our prayer for me and from the hosts, other co-hosts and the guests, Father God, is that you continue to be as faithful as you've been. We know that you cannot change. You will continue to show favor over their lives, Father God. We just pray for just continue concealment of this marriage, prosperity of this marriage as they're both growing in deeper and deeper faith. Father God, we're just praying, Lord, that they continue to see more and more of who you truly are and want to be for them. We thank you, Father God, for the things that they're continuing to work through, that you continue to put the right people around them. Help me and the other friends that are close to them be a positive influence, Father God. Be a faith-driven support system for them as they trek on their way to the promised places that you have for them. May all the worry be washed away, all the anxiety be washed away, that may they stand firm, Father God, on what you've said. And we thank you for this podcast and what it's going to grow into behind the genius minds of Mike's wife, for all these different books and paraphernalia. Just continue to show us the way. And also those who are generous donors, put it on their heart to send over the cashola. And if they don't, we know that you'll still provide a way. So we thank you for this podcast tonight for 1 year. And we just thank you for 100 to come. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Until next time.
2 Chainz.
Can we talk?
really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.